Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Checking to see if my mic's working right. There we go. Cool. All right. So yeah, obviously by the title today we're going to be looking at some lights. Adkins asked a question earlier. It made me think about, um, or asked me a question earlier specifically about a brand of lights that got shipped to me to test out. So we're going to be taking a look at that. See how adjustable they are, what you can do with them. Looks like we got Rightish Das, first person in here. Heck yeah. My Fish Tanks Aquatics. No problem. Do you think, man? You got Lefty, Jennifer Weaver, Brookley Bell, Surf City, Ben Backstrom, Melissa, Rock Hard Tanks. Hope everybody's doing well. Give it a little bit here before we get started. Usually keep a steady 15, 20 people in here, so I'll make sure not leaving anybody out. Had fun on Tams this morning. I woke up at fucking 10 o'clock and then realized Jess had messaged me asking me to come up. So I was scrambling, trying to get myself at least half-assed presentable for the Aquatic Morning Show. That was fun. I always love going up there. Ended up losing one of my customers recently. He's going to be having his son, trying to teach his son to take care of all of his tanks, which is honestly a big portion of my schedule was just this guy alone. So get a little bit extra free time now, which is kind of nice because I've been so burnt out. Um, I'm noticing even just after a few days or this last week, I've got a little bit more energy in me and stuff. So it's pretty nice. It's like we got Mike's Aquatics and things coming in. Adkins, no problem, man. If you, it'd be awesome if you were joined, but I completely understand too. We'll do a night. We'll do another one specifically for you for this because there's an endless world to lights if you really think about it. Melissa, thank you very much. Setting up a snake enclosure. Heck yeah. Glad you're listening in. Sharpies, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. No problem, Brooklyn. Mountain Dishmore. Yeah. I got use a dishwasher. I can't. It kills me sitting at my sink for like 6 hours doing dishes just because I do the same thing. I procrastinate and I get sidetracked with other shit and everything else. Dee Dee's Fendon, new local Austin. Hope you guys are doing good today. 21 people in here. Yeah. No, I don't. It was one of my first few streams that I did. We had went over this light, this brand of light before. I was pretty quick and brief about it. I still haven't used it. It's still sitting in the damn box, just like the other two of them. But um, Adkins reminded me to be a little more detailed about it. So here we are. That and I was having trouble figuring out a topic for today. Anyways, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a salty surprise or another random thoughts or just something. So with everything changed around, man. I don't know which way my head's screwed on. Rona has hit me as hard as I thought it would, thankfully. Oh, you got COVID? That's not cool. Sarah J. Sieber, how's it going, chick? Paul McCarthy. That's insane. What are you doing, chick? Stillwater? Nope, not Higer. It's actually a light made for saltwater tanks. It's a Viper Spectre. There's 1,500 fucking reviews of Higer equipment. I ain't doing one. Nothing good. Well, that's not good. Sorry, I've been having such a hard time lately, chick. If there's so anybody who doesn't know, Alice Insane is a good friend from the nerd community. Welcome her warmly. If you don't end up using one of those lights, I know where you can sponsor one. I'm sure I can find a use for one eventually, but yeah, not wrong there. Um, right now, they're from what I understand, they're mostly an Amazon-based company. Um, they do have their lights out to quite a few different sources, so that's pretty cool. And they're pretty reasonably priced. This one that we're going to be looking at today is the larger one. It's about $250, and they have a smaller one that's about 170, I think. This one here, I know for a fact will light a 50 low boy, no questions asked, as well as a 75. You do some pretty good corals with just one of these lights. Um, but they're pretty cool. And I obviously, if nobody doesn't know, I run and own an aquarium maintenance, setup, and acquisitions business. So sometimes I get people sending me stuff to try out or stuff like that. I don't really have any sponsors. I don't do sponsors or anything like that. So if they want to send me some equipment to check out and let them know how it works for me, I don't mind doing that. So that's how I ended up with these. They sent me 3 of them. It's kind of overkill. But what's cool with these specifically, you don't just have to run saltwater with them. These things work. They're adjustable to the point where you can run them and hit the same spectrums of lights your 3.0 fluvals are. So you can run fresh water with these lights, no problem. Like, especially if you have a nice deep tank like that 3 foot 75 I had. That thing is deep. That thing goes all the way up to my shoulder if I stick my arm in there, right? It's hard to reach and get enough light down to the bottom of a tank like that for corals and stuff if that was to be a saltwater tank. So this is definitely a good light for that. I'm going to talk a bit louder here just because I moved my mic a bit away, so don't mind that. We'll get cracking in here. Rainer Trofer, Crypt Keeper. How's it going, guys? Regular 3-prong power cord. It does come with hangers, like the actual nice hangers, which is nice. Here. It comes with a nice little remote, so you can adjust it with that. Instructions. Now for the light. This thing has a shitload of diodes. This is what the diodes are looking like. Some real nice quality stuff there. It's a heavy light. I'd say this weighs 7 or 8 pounds, so it's fairly heavy. It's got 2 built-in fans in the top. There's your little knobs in the top for screwing in your hangers. Box out of the way here. All right. That's a pretty sharp looking light. And there's the control panel for it. Like I said, you can grow corals, you can grow freshwater plants. If it grows under a light, this will fucking grow it. It's got a digital timer built in. Obviously, it's got remote control. I think there's an app you can download as well, if I'm not mistaken. And you can adjust the intensity, the spectrum, the whole 9 yards. So it's one of the more customizable lights that I've noticed, which I like because especially for like coral, certain species of corals require certain have certain requirements for the spectrum of light. So to get it to do what you want it to do. So yeah, but the brand is called Viper Spectra, John. Viper Spectra. And these are definitely one of your way more affordable lights that you can use for saltwater. This is actually the light I plan. One of these lights are the ones I plan on putting over this 75 here. So that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, Trover, this thing, it comes with all the hardware too. And what's also cool about these guys, they have warranty. They'll also, if there's a defect, they will send you replacement parts for free. If it needs repaired and it's out of your hands, you can ship it in there, repair it. They have a money back guarantee as well. So that's pretty neat. Makes me want to buy it a little more if I was to spend my money on it. So now, if you didn't notice, the plug-in for the outlet is on the top of it. This light is meant to be hanging. You have to hang it. I mean, you wanna put it on the top of your tank. There's a good chance you'll melt something. These things get hot. Um, as any good saltwater light's going to, just from the power that's running through them. Another thing I like about these is, like I said, the amount of diodes. You can cover some serious area with this thing. Um, just putting it off of, I'd say about 10 inches above that 75-gallon tank, it should, without a doubt, light every inch of that tank. So, yeah. My other favorite thing, like I said, is that you can also use these to grow freshwater plants, and very well too. It's a pretty darn powerful light. I'd rather spend $250 on one of these than a Kessel. I mean, fuck, if you're buying a Kessel for $250, that's already a deal. So, but regardless, starting to like these a bit. I have one running right now at the shop that I had before they sent me these. It's a smaller version of this. So, yeah, they're good brand. Kind of like the saltwater version of Higer in a way. When it comes to lighting. And yes, it ramps. It's fully adjustable. Fully adjustable. You got all your controls right here on your little remote. And then it's also got control panel there with your intensity knob, and it's got other buttons and stuff. But I did read through the instruction manual. Like I said, you can adjust the spectrum of this light pretty crazily. There's some pretty cool stuff you can do. Another thing I will say about this light, I have noticed from the other one that I have, you have like a shallow coral tank. Do not turn this fucking thing all the way up. You're going to grow some algae first off, and a hell of a lot of it. And it might even be too much for some of your corals. These things get fucking bright. So keep that in mind if you ever do decide to get one. They're very cheap, affordable, and reliable. That's about it. And here soon, it's probably today, probably I'm going to take the light that's off that 75 behind me right here and put this up above it and just get it up and running and going for when I do turn all that into salt water. Okay, and going back to what Cage was talking about, you can even set the timer to ramp it up and to ramp it down, because it also has some timers built into it, which is really nice. Go back up and chat here, see if I missed anything. Here we are. Here, Fishy, how's it going? Guess I could bring my mic a little bit back over here, huh? Hippie John. Peplin Creek. Oh, shit. Corals and aquatic plants. It was legal. Maybe some other stuff. Shit. It has a remote. Cool. I was wondering if I had to program it from a control panel. Nope. It's got a remote and a control panel. Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's why I was saying it doesn't have any problem lighting up a 75, just a regular 75-gallon tank. Not one fucking problem. Sweet light, what brand? Sorry, okay. Already answered that. Quit smoking 3 years ago? Heck yeah. Like, would I just end up murdering somebody? Yeah, they do work really well for freshwater planted tanks that are super deep just because of how powerful they are. They're really able to reach down there really well. And they come in this nice gray color and black. Yep, it sure can, Rainer. It's what it was telling me through the manual here when I was reading through it. The manual right here tells you how to set all your timers and even gives you a warning about the brightness to midday to dawn to dusk and the whole 9 yards. They're actually pretty detailed about it. Yep. I do the 5H AK. I have the fortitude to quit smoking, but I never started. Okay, that's what I wonder if you can ramp the intensity. Yep, sure can. Sure can. Yeah, the smaller version would work for a 40 breeder just fine. If you really want to make sure you're getting that coverage and you have all the light you need, one of these would be really good too. 'Cause like I said, you can turn that intensity down really well. The whites and blues and separate channels to control. Yes. Yes, they are. Yep. From what I understand, from what I see on Amazon, here I'll pull it back up here. There's two different sizes. There's this size, the larger size, and a smaller size. Um, just gonna pull it up here, so I'm not giving any fucking misinformation here. Mm, There we go. These guys also do like garden lighting and stuff too. Yep, the smaller one's 159 and the bigger one is 2 250. It's only two sizes I'm seeing. Hmm, Give a little description of it. Light is specifically engineered to keep the balance of the part output and coverage sustainable, meaning consistent. An internal timer, a full spectrum, proper layout, which is going to be. Just kind of skimming through it real quick, see if there's any information I might be missing. But yeah, just two sizes. Smaller one would work just fine for a smaller tank. Like I said, they are freaking bright. Yep. If you just go ahead and type in Vipar Spectra, Aquarium or Reef Lighting, it should pop right up on Amazon. Learn by fidgeting. Well, sometimes when you're working with equipment that costs thousands of dollars, you can't afford to do that. That's a little too dim. Damn it. So the tank raised lemon tetras passed overnight, but all the wild shit is alive. Damn, that sucks. Those lemon tetras are great. At least everything, all the wild stuff is alive. I mean, hell. Weird, but it's definitely pretty cool. Huh. Yeah. And those definitely, bro. I would plug it in, but it would, I mean, it flash you guys pretty good. I tried to blind myself before on the stream. I can now if you really want me to. Like I said, hmm, 75 is almost 3 feet tall. It lights to the bottom of that, so yeah, it shouldn't have any problem at all. Right, right, exactly. Exactly. 30 inches deep. Yeah, it shouldn't have. I know this big bastard will reach it. That's for sure. Things are made for corals and stuff. Like you said, they're so adjustable. It doesn't matter. You can use it on fish too. I want to get my hands on some more of these lifeguard lights. Um, Stephen P did a contest tank, and the brand of tank he used was Lifeguard, which is the same brand that light is that's on top of that 75. And them lights are some of the brightest standard Planet aquarium lights I've ever seen, and they're cheap. Um, those are really nice too. They got some cool looking tanks. Nice small little company. Yeah, right now at the shop, in my stock coral tank, this is what I run, and it keeps everything I have alive. So it has for months and months and months now. Anything from Cephastria to polyps and anemones, just about anything you can think of. I had it over my Duncan for a long time too. Did Duncan did great underneath it. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the progression that we've came technologically wise in the fish hobby, meaning lights and just systems in general. I love the fact that we can keep stuff that we've 20 years ago never would have even had a second thought of been able to keep. So I think that's pretty badass, and we just keep going from there. not too big in doing. I mean, I love doing high tech tanks and stuff, but I like the simple stuff. I'm just really into all the tech. Some pretty cool shit. Run a 3.0 and an Aqua Sky on a 75 gallon. Happy with them? Yeah, they do well. That's for sure. Yeah, this I have one 4 foot lifeguard light on top of that. And if I put anything else on top of that fucking tank, I mean, I'm going to grow twice as much algae as I already do. It is insane how bright that light is. Those are the lights I use from now on for big 75-gallon planted tanks. Just because I need one, I don't need two of them. I hate running two different lights on one tank. It drives me nuts for some reason. That's just me, though. If I have to, I will, but. Hey, Jess. Hope you're doing good. You have a Night Crew 150 watt that works great for my 29. That's powerful enough to keep it on low. Yep. Yep. Night Crew's a good brand too. Been around for a while. I have quite a few Night Crew lights. Those lights are on my wish list. I think I got everything I need on the list except actually buying the stuff on the list. So expensive, but one piece at a time. Yep. It's the way to do it. Second here, guys. I'm gonna go put this light up real quick and grab my sweatshirt. All right. Heck yeah. Again, these lights right here. It's the Aqueon Opta Pro aquarium light. It's actually kind of made for reef tanks. It's an RGB light. It's pretty rad. All sorts of crazy stuff with this fucking thing. Just the refresh rate on my camera with that light does not work out very well. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just dicking around with it at this point. Some of the settings, and they're pretty cheap. I think for this 4 foot that's on across these tanks here is $120. But they work good for simple corals and stuff like that. Not too picky when it comes to lights, as long as it's not a fucking shop light. I don't like using shop lights. I like the floodlights for certain situations, but about as close as I'll go to a shop light. Here's my list so far. Let me know if I'm missing anything. All right, I'll have to go check that out here. Put it in a different tab there so I remember. Hey, I even have to do it sometimes. Shit. Sun and Boyu, yeah. And they're not bad. They're not bad at all. I just around here specifically for okay, say my local fish store had these Viper Spectra lights in stock. For that same light that I just paid, $240 for, through most 90% of the places around here, they'd be charging you like $350 for it. So yeah, no, I'm not cool with that. It just sucks. I really wish the local places around here put more effort to towards the hobby instead of just trying to fucking make a buck. It's pretty sickening. I understand you gotta make a living, but I mean, if you want to be successful in the aquarium business, I mean, you guys get my drift. I'm not going no further than that. Get a nice light every couple months. Hmm. I do too, just because there's always new light companies coming out and different lights coming out. So I try to make sure I'm pretty well equipped with them all. Use a 4-foot grow arena lights on my 10-gallon rack at 8. Do good for cheap grow light. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's what I did most of my life. I mean, I still have to, especially with stuff going on recently. I only lost one customer, but it set me back quite a bit. Makes my butthole pucker a bit if you get my feel. Think I will buy one Aquamedic spotlight LED. Those aren't bad either. So far, I mean, hands down, my overall favorite light when it comes to like super expensive lights or saltwater lights is um, Kessel. I just can't beat it. Quality, the quality. There's a few other really nice brands that I like too, but if I had the money, different wave makers. Yeah, I like the new. I don't know if Hiker makes it or somebody, but it's a system of 6 different magnetized power heads. Go all the way around, but it's all on a controller, so you can set what kind of flow you want, the intensity, whether you want a chaotic flow or a direct flow or whatever. Lurking while cooking, Allison Nicholson, no problem. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. 31 people in here, heck yeah. You and me both, Melissa. I go nuts when I have to start worrying about stuff. I'm a worry wart. Can't help it. The RO tanning lights, they use potency really quickly. I haven't looked at it just yet, Ian. Let me pull it up here. If I see loss, that's pretty neat. Controller. Lots of unions. I like it. Yeah, yeah. That all looks good. And for that overflow on the bottom, Ian, you don't have to get one that drills into the tank. You don't have to have one to where you drill the tank at all. Um, you can have them where it's got like a little overflow tube, just a round piece of hard, clear tubing, and you start a siphon with it, and it'll move water over the edge of the tank from one side of the overflow to the other. It kind of looks like a little hang on the back filter. I know you were fairly worried about drilling the tank. I'm sure you know. I just reminding you. But hell, with that, you only got to drill one hole. So, well, two for the outlet. Our aquatic universe. Welcome. Hope you're doing good today. Not a whole lot. Spent the first bit there talking about some aquarium lightings, Viper Specters particularly. Yeah, and I really like the list. Um, they can fail just as much as the one that you have now is really. The trick is just making sure you're not overfilling your sump. Those overflows, the ridges that are on the front of those overflows, that water can only go down that far, right? So if you compensate for that in your sump, meaning not filling it all the way up to the brim, you don't even have to worry about it. Because even if you do lose power, that half inch of water is draining out of that tank into the sump, and that's it. You're not going to get an overflow or nothing. Problem is when you have your intake way down towards the bottom of the tank, because then it's just going to obviously keep sucking water out of that tank until it gets underneath that drain. Skipper, how's it going, man? Do it, John. Do it. It's super easy. So need something that's not going to deteriorate in water to make baffles with, whether it be glass or some sort of plastic. Make some baffles and you're good. Fill it full of media and sponges and pumps. Good to go. Sometimes have a mouth of a 15-year-old boy. You're fine. One strong sphincter. Jesus. Also, just a power strip that is Wi-Fi controlled quick. Yeah, sir. The one that he had listed on there is Herbie drain. All right. You got three different types of overflow. You got your standard overflow. It's just got one drain pipe, right? You got a second one. It's got like, or call it a Durso or Herbie drain. It's got the little pipe that goes up and over with an air hole on the top of it. And then you have a bean animal overflow, right? Where it's got your regular drain pipe. It's got your Herbie drain, and then it's got a backup drain. The bean animal is going to be your safest bet because it's got three backup other drains that it can go down in case one of those clogs. Me, I like using, if it's for me, or if I'm given the option, I will always go with a bean animal. That's a little more expensive usually, but in the long run, it's safer, a lot safer. It's like I said, you have those fail safes, the other two drain pipes, and it's just a lot quieter. You have one standpipe in there, and it can get kind of loud. You have more, it gets quieter. All sorts. It is a bit of a learning curve, Melissa, but it's super simple in the long run. But yeah, for the overflows, Adkins, there's usually the in-tank overflows, which are like the black boxes in the corner in the middle, and it's got the bottom of the tank drilled with the flow pipes going in the bottom. You got those. You got the ones that it's on your list where you drill a hole in the side of the tank and it drills through that, or it drains through that hole in the side of the tank into the overflow box, or you got the hang on the back over the flows or overflow boxes. But they all, or those last two, or any of them, they should have the option for a drilled or a siphon tube. They're just hard to find. 50 miles per hour right now. Yeah. Welcome to my world. If 1 gallon plastic insert that can be used as, you can use a Dremel tool on. There you go. Did make us one sump and a 20 long. It works great. I had to make sure the silicone was aquarium safe. Has anyone had to verify the silicone to make the baffles? Um, Yeah, but then again, usually I always just make sure that the silicone that I'm getting is just straight 100% silicone, like the G number one. So I don't really worry about it too much, if I'm being honest. As long as it says 100% silicone. IHSP, how's it going? They're really good till they're not. Hey, it's all up to the person maintaining that system. If you're not keeping up with that system, eventually shit's gonna get clogged up. That happens with everything. All fish tanks. I have more problems with fucking hang on the backs than I do sumps and anything else. Use G number one. Yep, that's what I use. Trying to find some black silicone though that I can get regularly. I really like black silicone tanks. It looks nice. Happy Bengali New Year's to you as well, man. Staying busy at work. It's been nice, steady, but not crazy. That's good. Yeah. Ian, did you order the stuff to drill the tank, or have you not done that yet? Because I can send you the link to the kit that I buy that comes with. Trying to find it here. It's like a stencil. You have to get a suction cup on it, stick with glass, and it's got little bearings on it, so that way you can keep the drill bit safe. So you're not moving around and weighing them back. Very true, Dragon. HSP. I heard they were switching 100% to number two. Hmm. I haven't heard anything about that personally, but I moved my 150-gallon tank with the sand across the house yesterday to be a better spot. I did it, but never again by myself. Yeah. Oh man, that had to be a feat. I have to call in all my friends and family and stuff to come help me move tanks because I don't have any fucking employees. So I have a CPR CS overflow box. If the power is off too long, it drops too low to prime itself, then power comes back on. However, the return sump works perfectly. So oops. Hey, it happens. Um, I've been using the Higer pumps lately. And what is the brand? God, trying to remember the brand of overflow I've been using lately. Like the ones that, like we were going over the one night, they're square, and instead of having an overflow drain pipe, it's got like a sealed compartment where that whole angular part goes up and over instead of just a little tube pulling the water through. See a picture of one as soon as I can fucking pull it up. There we go. I like these ones a lot. Where the hell is it? Trying to get like a good side view. But anyways, I don't know if you can see my cursor on here at all. Right here, the water comes in the front there, down and up and around. But this whole area here is sucking water up, not just that. It's got a little pump here that self primes it. And that's what Dee Dee's talking about. If I'm not mistaken, this might be the exact same one Dee Dee's talking about. Is it? The CS overflow? CPR aquatics? Yeah. Yep, these are I love these ones. You can take these and extend that airline so it sits a little further down the tank so it does reprime it for you automatically. They're expensive, but they're worth every penny, that's for sure. I think that one's like 260 or something like that. Shit, I don't give a shit. Yep, yep. Okay, you were talking about that for sure then. Yeah. Cool beaners. No, I haven't started yet. Still in the planning stage. I want to make sure I can create a good long-term reef tank. Yep. Box. A lot of bio balls free on the curb. That's a fucking steal. Welcome, welcome, Mr. Aquatic. Didn't get you. My old worn out ass can't even move a 40 gallon by myself. I did it 4 times last summer. Can't even pick up one now. Aw. Hey, yes, how you doing? How do you drill a tank without cracking it? Very carefully. You get a glass drill bit. I like to drill a hole in a piece of wood the same size as that glass drill bit, so I have like a stencil or a guide, which is the same thing I was talking about a little bit ago to Atkins. So that way I stay nice and straight, and then I just start drilling as I'm dumping water onto where I'm drilling. That's about it. The trick is not putting too much pressure too. You push too hard, you'll bust it. Pretty much let the weight of the drill. You can push a little bit. Pretty much try to let the weight of the drill do the drilling for you. Good, dang. Bit pissed off today. Well, that's no good. How would you illuminate aquariums? Large aquariums, spotlights or floodlights? Preferably if I could afford it, neither of those, but I do spotlights and floodlights are really all that different when you're using them for a fish tank light. So either or, really. If you're looking for more of a focus light, probably the spotlight. Depends on the setup. Yeah, you definitely don't want to drill tempered glass either because it will shatter every time. Yep. Yep. They also have an oil, like Alice is saying, that you can use for it too. Amazon research for ornamental fishes. How's it going, Dr. Anthony? Ain't that right? Sat in the car waiting for daughter to come out of meeting, then home. Fun, fun. Thank you. We've been holding 30 people in here study this whole time. I'm super happy. It's really awesome. You guys rock. Don't remember, guys. I've already got that schedule or that giveaway scheduled for the 21st. So make sure you guys got room in your tanks if you want anything. Um, Doing 2 different groups of longfin albino bristlenose black-nose, about 6 in each bag. So 2 giveaways there. We're going to do 2 groups of 6 apiece of Star Sapphire juveniles. About an inch by the time you get them. Be about an inch and a half by the time you guys get them. So still young. And then if we hit 250 subscribers between now and the 24th or the 25th, 21st, before or during that stream, I'll be doing 2 more giveaways. One's going to be for a confirmed breeding colony of purple harlequin rasboras, and the other is going to be for a flower horn, maybe 2. I don't know. I haven't decided. But I know I want to give away some of these flower horns to the fish community because these things are gorgeous. Yeah, I had to do a little spiel there. Yeah, yep. Hey, at least they're not the freaking halogen lights that I grew up on that would literally boil a fucking tank if you let it. Goddamn halogen bulbs. Work great. They can grow some awesome corals, but god damn do they get hot. I'll show you what the kind of bits I use, Ricky. You're literally just hole drills. Like that. And it's $20 for a bag of these, a guide, and that's it. And you get a bit of every size, just about any size you can fucking think of. And when they run out, just buy another one. They're cheap enough. Eventually, these will go dull. You'll get through 3-4 tanks and it'll go dull. For sure. Halogens are not the best for corals. Not anymore, they're not. Maybe 20 years ago. They got way better options out today. Link to the drill bit guide. Let me pull up. Trying to find the exact one that I used. That's not what I wanted. Where are you? Trying to find the exact one that I have. There it is. Technically, you can do ceramic, glass, porcelain, and even marble with this shit. So. Here is the link. Might come in as 2 messages. Yep. COC, how's it going? I bet they do. With the kind of corals that I'm involved with, working with, I don't have a problem spending good money on some professional grade lights. Up to date professional grade lights, I should say. That's not true at all. Those halogen bulbs take up 10 times more power than an LED does, hands down. Hands down. I'm not trying to be a dick at all. I'm just saying, like, halogens take up way more fucking power. I got 2 sizes of diamond glass drill bits for $1 each from Home Depot clearance sale table last December. That's pretty cool. No problem, Adkins. Yeah, if you can get natural sunlight going on your corals, that's always going to be best. Always. Man, could you imagine having like an outdoor coral farm? That would be so fucking cool. That'd be so cool. Yeah, I can only imagine the cost of cooling and all that, especially over there where it's so hot all the time. Be a big old pain in the ass. Plumbing for the drain. Do you use 1 inch diameter PVC, and is it the same for the return pump? Yeah, I don't like using anything under 1 inch. Um, but yes, I usually use the same size for both. It would, Ricky. That's why I said it'd be really cool if you could if it was a way to figure it out. Greenhouse idea is pretty neat. Local Home Depot deleted them from their inventory, but there's the last two they had. What the hell? And also, Adkins, because you're not, I mean, it's only a 40 gallon, you're not moving too much pressure or anything. You could even go with the soft vinyl tubing for your return pipe, which makes it easier instead of gluing and piecing PVC. Using soft vinyl pipe is totally acceptable as long as you're not pressuring or you're putting too much pressure through there, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I've seen videos of that stuff. It's pretty cool. They do some pretty cool work. I've used this stuff for years, Ricky. Years, and I've never had that problem. There shouldn't be any back suction on it to make it suck back together like that. Um, 'Cause literally all you're doing is just pushing water from one end to the other. It shouldn't have any suction. Oh, I just thought of this, Adkins. One thing I would advise for the return or for your return, yeah, put a one-way flow regulator in there. It's got a little flap in it so the water can't flow back down that. Well, safety precaution there because that will siphon back down through to your pump and back out that way as well. And sometimes, depending, um, your outtakes are set a little bit lower down in a saltwater tank just to get that flow across your corals and stuff. So always put in a nice. I'll send you a link to it. The ones that I use, made by Granger. It's pretty much a check valve. I mean, it is a check valve, but it's made for bulk reef supply has them fairly cheaply too. These are always another good thing to have on, like I said, your return pump. So that way, in case that does happen, it's not coming back down. I mentioned that. Used commercial too from soda fountains for years. The local Coke distributor throws leftover pieces in the dumpster. Yeah. Yep. Unless you're pumping fucking 12,000 gallons a minute, and that's way over exaggerating. You don't really need a hard PVC system. I like making my drain all hard PVC. It just makes it a little easier. But you got all the unions you can never need on that list you got, so that's good. I don't the whole return line to be vinyl. I was thinking of doing hard pipe from the return nozzle just before the pump and connect the pump. Yeah, that's what you do. They have um God, why can't I think of it? The the fuck basically just screw together the glass so you can put PVC on your glass. I don't know why the name's not coming ahead, but anyways, they have ones that have an angled piece that come out and come down like that um, for vinyl hosing, just like that. So you don't even have to go buy extra pieces and stuff. You just buy that um, that O-ring. See if I can find a picture of it real quick. I don't know why I can't freaking think of the name of them off the top of my head. It's driving me nuts. But when I did plumbing, it was gas lines to furnaces and stuff. Yeah, it's all pressurized line too. Trying to find thing I'm talking about. Okay, I'm really having a brain fart. Okay, after you drill the tank, the black thing, you stick through the hole and you screw it together so you can attach PVC to it. What the fuck is that called? I don't know why it won't come out of my head. Schedule 80 is usually the preferred PVC to go with. That's what I was taught in school. Yes, bulkhead. Thank you. Thank you, bulkhead. Fuck. I don't know why I couldn't get it out. Holy shit. All right, there we go. Found one. I'm just gonna pull it up for you guys here. Gina, hey chick. Hope you're doing good today. Yeah, they got these elbow bulkheads. Goes in just like a regular bulkhead, but instead of attaching a bunch of random pieces of PVC, so you can put a piece of vinyl tubing, and they make these, so you can just attach the vinyl tubing directly to that, and they're pretty cheap. Work the same way as a bulkhead. Just have that angle on there. Geek boy, nice to see you. I don't know why. You'd think it would have been simple, but no, not today. Oh, probably gonna be calling it here in a few minutes, guys. I do still have to go into work today, this afternoon. So give it about another 20 minutes here, and I'm probably gonna hop off just so you guys are aware. Doing well on lunch. Just did a water change on the 100 bed we have at the store right now. Fun, fun. Freaking bettas. Sorry, I can't say shit. I got bettas too. I just hate maintaining a fuck ton of them at once, unless they're in like one of those beta racks. Pain in the ass, especially when all you have is a Python. You use other stuff, but I'm past hauling buckets, so yeah, I don't haul buckets. I'll push it as long as I can, but I got to get some stuff done. Still got to go sanitize all my equipment from yesterday. I've got to test the water on a few tanks, move some corals around, mop and sweep. Stay on as long as I can, though. It's the last time at Petco doing it, so go big or go home. There you go. Well, that's good, Didi. Like I said, if anybody ever has any questions about any of this stuff at all, message me. I don't mind at all. Email me, Instagram me, find me on Discord. Speaking of Discord, I made a Discord specifically for my YouTube here so we can do um, watch parties for documentaries and a bunch of videos and stuff that I watch and use and would like to share with everybody. Can't do it here because I get copyrighted for that shit. But we go on Discord. We can watch parties and all that stuff. Pulling up a link here for that. And it's also one of the best ways to get a hold of me too. I do a lot of moderating and stuff for a lot of different communities on Discord. So I'm usually always on. Here's the link to my Discord. That's not the right link. What the hell? Okay, give me a second. Apparently I messed it up. Whoops. There we go. And there's the Discord. Yeah, definitely. I hope I was able to teach you something at least. You go home after you finish the tanks. Just listening and talking it all in and thanking God and thick compared to these guys. That should be a lot of fun. That'll be a whole different world. I have not, Atkins. I know she's super excited about it. Yeah. Shit. You already got a beautiful saltwater tank going and keeping it going. You know what you're doing. Shouldn't be too hard. Also, welcome Geek Boy Sarah and D&D Music to the Discord. I appreciate it. All right. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Hmm. Do you recommend suction cups when moving tanks? Yeah, as long as it's not too big. Um, but yeah, for smaller tanks like a 75, I mean, fuck, you could probably even do it with like a 125 or something. If you get some nice industrial, moving or suction cups, yeah, they work just fine. A lot of people use them. If you've ever watched Tanked, the show Tanked, they use them a lot in moving a lot of their stuff. Um, I honestly, Brooklyn, I just bought a random ass pair or set of industrial suction cups off of Amazon. I don't, it's some Chinese brand. I'll have to go look at them, but they'll lift like 900 pounds. So I have to sort out guppies today. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. I do have saltwater tanks, yes, and I maintain and keep uh, quite a few of them for customers as well. You find a lot of, you can see a lot of saltwater stuff in my shorts, on my YouTube channel. Mystery Snail Guardians. Hope you're doing good today, Jake. But I will say, Brooklyn, they do make moving tanks a lot easier, especially if you're just one person, like for 20 gallons and stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. And all your glass companies and stuff, that's what they use is suction cups to pick up and move around all them big sheets of glass they got. How easy is it to make transition to saltwater from fresh? Really easy, actually. Depending on how you want to go about it, if you're pretty open minded about it. Um, like right now, you could take a tank, it's got a sponge filter in it. That's it, right? Drain it, put some live rock in there, fill it back up with salt water, and let it cycle. And you got a cheap Fowler display. Fish only with live rock. That sponge filter will run saltwater, small saltwater tank. Doesn't have a problem with it. It's the same thing it does in freshwater. So in that sense, you can transition pretty cheaply. And then after you do that, you can progress from there, get better filtration, or get a nice saltwater light. Add on a sump eventually, so you can work with corals or more corals and stuff like that. So it's actually very easy to do it, especially if you take it by steps. People have used suction cows have been wanting to get some. Do it. Yeah, just make sure they're rated for at least a few 100 pounds. Yeah, and you're good. When I get back to the shop later this afternoon, I'll take a look and see what brand I have. And let you know. That sounds crazy. I don't think I've seen what those look like. Wanting to get some is why I ask. One of these days I'm going to need someone to come move my two larger tanks so I can get rid of the crappy carpeting. My research, but it's something I really want to try. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Yeah, definitely do your research. It's definitely easy to start off super simple and cheap, and progress to something more advanced. And honestly, that's the way I advise doing it because it gives you the time to learn the ins and outs of the whole saltwater shebang. Just jumping into it with $10,000 system out of nowhere. More, I've seen more people fail doing that than starting off on this like on the stepping stone path like I'm talking. And they waste a lot of money, and I don't like to see that. Yep. Yeah. If I'd known earlier that seawater is so simple, I would have bought one tank sooner. Oh yeah, that's how I started. Was just those stupid sponge filter or stupid stick on the back sponge filters and some live rock, bare bottom with um, clown and just a cheap clown in it. One by himself. I had that tank for like 15 years. That's all it ever ran off of was a sponge filter. I just did water changes on it like a regular freshwater tank too, once a week. I like starting salt water in a 10-gallon, but I'm very limited to what I can keep, so I'm excited for the 40 build. I bet. I would be too. There's definitely a lot more factors that come into keeping salt water, but just to get started, it's simple. I always ask more experienced fish keepers to get simple setup tips and not so huge systems. Yep. That's how they'll aim for. They'll aim for it every time too. Moose Gal, how's it going? Heck yeah, you should, Atkins. Especially get that skimmer and everything else going in there. You're gonna have a blast. You're gonna be able to keep some species you never thought you'd been able to. Right now, I've been keeping an eye on my meteor shower cephastria. Um, this stuff's just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. I can't stop it. And at this point, I've got like the corrugated light diffuser. I'm using it as like a coral frag holder. Well, it's like grown down through the fucking light diffuser, and I can't even pull it up off of it at all or nothing. It's just stuck there. So now, if I want to do anything with that, I have to completely cut an entire chunk out of that fucking light diffuser just to get that piece back out of there. But it's all right. It's whatever. It just kind of sucks. Yeah, you should be able to do a nice mixture. Use salt water and fresh water to be very similar, just expensive. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. For 10 pounds of live rock and a sponge filter and maybe a little bit of live sand, I mean, you're talking $80 at the most. It's a good bet or a good estimate, I'd say. So it's not too bad at all. If you know somebody that has a saltwater tank that you could get some dirty media from to kind of seed the tank with, that will help speed up the cycle a little bit better instead of just letting it go over a longer period of time, just to let it cycle on its own. You signed up for Discord but never used it before. How does it work? It's kind of like a chat forum, but we can also join voice and video calls with each other in there as a group. Pretty much just it's a bunch of chat channels with different topics and stuff, and then you've got like your talk or your chat and your video channels and stuff too. Really good way. It was originally built for gamers to connect and chat and talk while playing games and stuff, but it's evolving into something much more than that. Great way for communities connect. Like the New England reptile community, we hit hard. We got over 4,000 members in that community, yeah, all on the Discord channel. Um, so it's a great way to get the community connected through forums. I had aquarium since 1995 and got my first aquarium when I was 7. It was always said to me as a kid that seawater is so complicated that stuck in my head. Yeah. Because back then, honestly, Rainer, it was. Back then, it was very difficult to keep salt water. Only until the last 20 years did we start making enough advancements in the hobby to make things easier. So to try to train people's brains out of that, it's difficult. You could. And if they refuse giving you dirty freaking filter media, that's pretty shitty local fish store if you ask me. The fuck are they gonna do with it? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And you can find all sorts of communities and stuff on there. My only advice is be very picky and choosy about which ones you join because they can be very, very toxic. You will not see that in mine. I'll tell you that now, but they can be very, very toxic. Like YouTube comments, toxic kind of shit. So once the 40 is up, I'll be able to transfer everything from my 10-gallon reef to the new tank and still have a cycle. Yeah, you'll still have a cycle. But like you said, you're adding a lot more water volume in there, and there's obviously going to be space that bacteria is going to have to colonize on. So you would have everything you need to seed the tank, yeah. But I would definitely just kind of keep an eye on things just in case. But moving all that directly to a 40, yeah, I mean, you're obviously going to have all the nutrients and stuff in there in the tank with it, so it's going to be seeded. Mention gaming, and here comes Lefty. I game quite a bit actually, more than what people would think. Usually late at night. Like I play a lot of first person shooters, not so much like the multiplayer online stuff, but I like the stories of the campaigns and stuff like that. Like I really like Left for Dead and Back for Blood and stuff like that too. I also play like ESO or shit. I even play SWTOR, Star Wars, The Old Republic online. I'll play stuff like that. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Okay, but would I be able to add the fish that I already have in the tank in the new one? You should be able to. I would just keep an eye out for parameter spikes just in case. 'Cause I mean, I've had to do it too. Move one tank to another because the one tank busted, and it worked out for me. But I did notice because you're kind of stirring everything up, you get a little bit of a spike of certain stuff like ammonia or nitrates or something. If I have all the rocket media in the sump, I mean, yeah, it should work just fine. It honestly should work just fine. Um, I mean, you're not. It's not like you're taking a 10-gallon and turning it into a 120 gallon, so you don't really have too much to worry about. Yeah, if you definitely got enough live rock to put some down in the sump and still have some in your display, and you shouldn't have a problem at all. And the fish should be okay too. I'd worry I worry more about the corals. The corals might get a little pissy, so you hone in them parameters. But you're pretty savvy with it, so I think you're good. I think you'll be all right. Warcraft, World of Tanks, and Star Wars. Heck yeah. No, I was never a World of Warcraft person. I will say that. I got into the World of Tanks for a bit. Star Wars, Star Wars has my soul, man. Right? I enjoy all corals. I don't enjoy one type over another. I have favorites of every kind. SPS, LPS, it doesn't matter to me. Each one of them are freaking awesome in their own right. And my green pink tip anemone bubble tip is freaking splitting again for a fourth fucking time. Started as just one piece about this big, then it like split in half and then split in half again, and now it's going at it again. I'm hoping it takes over that whole side. That stuff's pretty and it's super healthy. It's that what's in there with my Duncan. It's only two corals that are in that tank. Heck yeah, dude, Atkins, let me know if you do because I play that too. It's been a while, but I play that too and kind of good at it. It's really weird. I don't enjoy MMORPGs too much, like the overhead play. I'm good, but I'm good at them. So it's kind of weird. But if it's something like it has to do with Star Wars or something like that, I'll play it. I don't have a problem at all. It's just more about the story and the lore I get to learn. Played the frack out of that when it came out. Oh, it's so good. So good. Y'all lost me with the video games. Hey, I can talk old school video games, dude. My favorite old school retro game is Galaga. I spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in quarters playing fucking Galaga. Sonic. I remember the old 007 games, playing in paintball mode. I still have football games for the fucking Saturn. Yeah, Saturn's still sitting in my garage somewhere. Galaga on my first computer. Fuck yeah. Man, it's made me want to go download a bunch of emulators now. Yeah, dude. It really was. That was so fun. They really are. Poor dog has problems with both ends, trying to figure out if he got sick from the boarding place. Oh no, that's not good. Ninja Turtles, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That's my shit. Yeah. Frogger was my shit for the longest time too. Lefty, I have like Mario. I have like a couple emulators for Mario and stuff like that, but nothing that has Galaga or anything like that. I got the old. Recently, I find myself playing the Paperboy game for the original Game Boy. Fucking game, man. I want to go back and play Pokemon Emerald too. Super console with from all the old systems. Yeah, dude, I've been seeing a bunch of those things coming out recently. They're so cool. think what was it? Dollar General. They had one for Sega. They had one for Nintendo 64. They pretty much had like one for each game company, but it had like a couple hundred games on each one. It's pretty cool. I didn't even know they were making a new Pac-Man, but from the looks of it, I'm going to be disappointed. It's an older game. It was on PS1, but does anybody remember the game Blood Rain? That game, that was a badass game. Like that brings me back to the times of like fucking Tomb Raider on PC running through the snow butt ass naked, all pixelated titties and stuff. It was hilarious. Yeah, Blood Rain. I almost forgot about Blood Rain. Blood Rain was one of my favorite games growing up. Here we go. I ran name back when I messaged the PC gaming, but I just play on a console these days. Yeah, I still have, like I said, I have consoles. I have an Xbox One and a PlayStation. I got some older systems too, like a PlayStation One and like a Saturn sitting in the garage. But I found recently that I can play all the games from all the consoles on one here on my PC. Then there's a lot of PC games that I can't play on console that I want to play, so I've been uh, working, teaching myself how to play on PC. I did play on console most of my life. Yes, you did. We're talking about Laura Croft's freaking pixelated snow titties from the old Tomb Raider game on PC. It's like 25 years old now. That shit was great. You know how excited I was? I was like 13 years old and just seen a pair of titties playing around, running around in the snow. That was great. Come on now. Oh man, I'm gonna be having like yeah, yeah. It's official. I'm definitely gonna be going back to like I'm gonna have like a retro game week where I just do nothing but play retro games all fucking week. Samos. Mm. First PCRC RPG was Temple of Opshai, 1978. Jeez, 1979. That's wild. Um, hmm, can't remember. Yeah, way back then, yeah, I didn't screw around with computers back then. Fuck, I wasn't even born yet. So, dude, Brooklyn, some of those are worth some serious money nowadays. Serious money. I'm glad I kept around my Saturn. Kept my Saturn after all these years. Pretty sure it still works. I got to go check it out. Yeah, Mortal Kombat was my shit too. Or Street Fighter. All the Street Fighter games were pretty fun. Heck yeah. I do too, Rico. I like him even more though if they're first person. It helps me like personally imagine myself in that scenario, if that makes sense. Like to when I play games, I like to kind of put myself in that world in my head. Doing that overhead from an overhead view kind of makes it difficult. But some games I just can't resist, like Diablo and stuff. Took out my original Xbox. It plays San Andreas. Nice. The first, um, the first game or game console I ever had to myself was the original Xbox, and the first game I got for it was Turok. I fucking love that game. Such a good game. The Witcher. The Witcher is super fun game series. I love, love, love the story behind it. You learn so much more about that whole world, universe. Yeah, I picked it up. I just haven't had time to play it yet. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've played all the other ones. I don't give a shit. Lego Star Wars is fucking great. Damn straight. It should be on all consoles, Allison. PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. I like the fiction of Horizon. Been playing it lately. Yeah, the story for her or yeah, Horizon is great. The first one was fantastic. Same thing with Dying Light. Dying Light was really fun. Heck yeah, been playing a lot of Back for Blood lately. They just released a expansion pack, bunch of new add-ons and stuff. Oh no, as I've played every God of War. God of War is fantastic too. I can honestly say I didn't care for the newest one as much as I did the first two. The first two were actually genuinely hard to get through. I mean, just to figure out all the puzzles and everything else like that without looking it up. That shit was hard. It was a good game. Another game he can rope me into. Pull up my game library here. I got so many fucking games. Just on Steam, I have like 200 and something games. But right now, lots of Back for Blood, Grounded, Dying Light 2, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and um, God, what is it? Fuck, where is it? Did it deleted? What the fuck? But yeah, then Generation Zero. If you don't know what Generation Zero is, you should because it's a really fun game. It's an open world, first person, apocalyptic scenario game, but you're not fighting fucking zombies and shit like that. You're fighting robots that pretty much defected against the human race, and you have to fight back. It's a really, really, really cool, interesting game. Everything's customizable. They're always updating it. It's just a super fun game. Super fun game. So if you guys have ever heard about it, thought about it, do it. And well over 400 on Steam. It's hard not. It's hard not to. There's so many good games. Yeah, there's a lot of games I haven't played in a while too, as well. I remember the old transparent Xboxes. Yeah, just let them duke it out. They'll figure it out one day. I do too. Kinda. I'm the type of person if I start something, I have to finish it. So I'm the type of guy like if I was to start a game, get really into it tonight, I'm gonna play it for a few hours tonight, go to bed, wake up, go to work, come home, do what I gotta do, and then do it again and keep doing it until I beat it. I have to, or else it'll drive me nuts. I'll just keep wondering. Yeah, Brooklyn, super fun game, and it's multiplayer, so you can invite other people. Bonnie Viper, how you doing? All right. I'll give you guys 20 more minutes. I'll make it even 2 hours, and I do got to hop off here. I do got to get some shit done. But you got 30 people in here having a good conversation, so I can't just leave it at that. Oh, man. All right. Freaking this piece on my headphones is pushing down on that little knob on the top of my head. It's hurting the top of my head. Does the sump require supplemental oxygen with air stones, or is some good with good flow required? Yeah. Usually, some are creating more oxygen in your system as it is just from the way it drains into it. Um, but personally, like in my sump is where I hide my heaters. I'll hide, an air stone. I'll put all that stuff down there. It's kind of how I am, Brooklyn. I have a few friends that I'll play games with, but not very many, unfortunately. Just got a gaming headset and my gaming actually like 2 months ago. But after 6 years, understandable. It's understandable. And every time I'm going in my stream, people come in and it keeps going. It's hard to end sometimes. It is. Luckily, I don't have anything too important to do. Like if I really, really wanted to, I could just say fuck it, not go. But after yesterday, the power being off for 8 hours, I just kind of makes me worry. Everything was all right when I went back, and everything was back on yesterday. So that, and I gotta pay attention to some Frankie and Stella, or else they get pissed off at me. Which is Frankie's the iguana, and Stella's my retic, and baby, and can't forget baby, which is the boa. Get mad when I don't pay attention to them every day. Keep missing his late night pop ups because I'm asleep by then. Yeah. Were you live last night? I looked for you. Oh, what was yesterday? Fuck, I think I was live for a little bit yesterday for like an hour, something like that. It's hard to remember anymore. I stream so much anymore. Gonna do a 100-gallon tub outside. What should I put in them? I would like to grow plants as well. What's your weather like, or where you're located at, Austin? Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. I have. That one is really crazy. Another one that was a really good game was Dante's Inferno. That was a fun game, man. Getting to fight death. That was my favorite fight scene out of that whole game, was fighting death. Oh damn! I don't think I even. I didn't realize you stayed on that far. No, I was tired. It really was, Brooklyn. New snake tank setup. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Um, if you got warmer weather year round, man, do some like killifish or something. Um, or even I'm just trying to throw out shit that not everybody else has in a pond. You know what I mean? So if you live somewhere warmer, maybe something like some killifish or some kind of tetra or something like that. Central Texas hot, gonna be 3 4 hours direct sunlight at most. Oh shit! So you do just about anything. Um, hmm. Goodeids would do real good in a pond. Should spawn a bunch for you in there too. You can do just virtually any plant you want in there as well. I've been wanting to set up a pond with a bunch of golden wonder killies and shrimp. Do a bunch of neocaridina. That would be pretty darn fun. I don't see very many people doing like tubs with shrimp. That's for sure. Or ponds with shrimp. Give me 1 second here, guys. I got to run to the bathroom. All right. Yeah, I ended up falling asleep last night too. Yeah, they can be a little voracious for sure. Yeah, nothing's ever okay when you just disappear, Bunny. It's never okay. You can't do that to us. You're not allowed. Looks like we got about another 10 minutes here, guys. Yeah. Go ahead and throw out that Discord link again if anybody would like to join the Discord for some watch parties and hangouts or chit chat, whatever. Also, don't forget about the giveaway the 21st. It's already scheduled. The live stream for it's already scheduled. We hit 250 or we hit 200, so we're doing a giveaway for that, which is 2 different sets of albino longfin bristlenose plecos and 2 sets of star sapphires cichlids. We hit 250 before or during that stream. I'll be giving away a flower horn and also another giveaway for confirmed breeding group of purple Harlequin Resboras. God, I'm almost sick of saying it because I feel like a broken record, but I want y'all to be aware. Damn it. He said something wrong. Shit. John, I don't think I've ever heard you say anything ever to the point where where somebody would do that to you. You're a nice guy, dude. And good shot for it shots. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Have a good day, Allison. I know you said you're having a kind of a crappy day earlier. Hopefully it gets better. This year I want to try to grow different Ludwigia species members. That'd be cool. Definitely a lot of them. Do bristlenose need plants? No, they do not. They just kind of, it's kind of like any other pleco. You have a plant in a tank that, like a sword or something like that, it's got some algae growing on it. They're going to get on that plant. They're going to munch on it just because they can. So it's just like any other pleco with plants, but no, they don't. I would say they need wood. I always make sure I got some wood in with my plecos. They do. I'll get some video footage of them here soon. I plan on doing a little showcase of all the giveaway fish. What's cool is about that breeding group, like there's 3 different bloodlines in that breeding group. I got some from Aquatic Arts, I got some from a good buddy of mine, and I've got some that I had shipped in. Um, so there's 3 different bloodlines in this breeding group. And they haven't produced very much. I mean, I've got a couple babies in there now, but I also haven't been actively trying to spawn them. But they're ready to go, ready to rumble. I catch them trying to catch the females spawning all the time. And then what they do, and they don't spawn like regular rasboras either. They don't spread their eggs around. They like overhanging leaves like crypts and stuff. And the female will go upside down and lay her eggs on the underside of the plant leaf. And the male come up and fertilize it. That's kind of how they spawn. Which reminds me, Lefty, if you're in here, the crypts that I'm talking about sending you, they're in that tank with those purple Harlequin Westboras. So if you get a random fry or something, at some point, probably purple Harlequin Westbora, just so you're aware. Yeah, those purple Harlequin Westboras are gorgeous. They are gorgeous. It's so fun to watch. You have to use fake plants because of a severum. See, I've never had a problem with keeping plants with severums. It's always been like peacocks and haps that I've had issues keeping plants with. Or this bitch, she'll eat whatever plant I put in there with her. She don't care. That's where most of my excess Java moss goes. I just throw it in her tank and she'll eat it. Really considering doing a pond? Do y'all put them in the ground or keep them above ground? I just because it's easier, normally keep them above ground. It's a pain in the ass to dig a hole for a 300-gallon tub. I normally keep mine above ground and then just let plants grow all around them. Heck yeah, thanks for joining, John. She eats people. She does. No problem. No problem. We got another like 5 minutes here before I'm hopping off anyway, so it works out. 4 o'clock my time. I wait any longer, I ain't gonna get shit done. I find a free spot later tonight or something like that. Somebody doesn't go or whatever. I may hop up again. I don't know. But I've already got 4 hours of streaming in today between the morning show and this. So awesome stream. No problem. Thank you, man. No problem, man. Yeah, any questions at all? I don't mind giving anything away in my head. Take it all. It's a good possibility, John. Very good possibility. I don't have my daughter today. Well, I mean, I do right now, but she's gonna be going to my mom's later. I'm trying to just figure out like a time schedule for when I would be free. I plan on going to the Hibachi Grill for dinner. I'd probably be free around 10, 11 o'clock if we did do anything like that, John. I have to find a smaller live food than brine shrimp eggs for my Burmese stickleback babies. Um, Paramecium. Have you tried paramecium? Or vinegar eels? No problem. You guys are what makes these streams, not me. I'm just here talking and chatting with y'all and showing you guys some okay stuff every now and then. This is all you guys, man. I love those reservoirs in my tank. I have nothing to fill in the middle. Yeah, you're definitely a good fish for that. That's for sure. We hit 250, and I'll do a giveaway. Only reason those aren't given away until 250 because like I love those fucking fish, dude. Those are some cool fish, but I also don't mind sharing. Just a little sentimental. It's an older group too. I've had them for about a year and a half, so they're all they're all definitely adults. Went and picked up some shipping supplies. The ship left you some crips. His water is fairly similar to mine, and he's been having trouble keeping crips alive. So, and I don't have a problem growing them, so I figured, hey, maybe some of mine will do all right in his tank since it's kind of a little closer to that. That tank out on the kitchen with the purple harlequins. So I haven't trimmed it or nothing. It's got some nice big old healthy plants in there. I'm curious to see the root systems in some of these crypts I'm gonna be pulling because the ones oh no yay tall, but the last time I pulled a crypt out of there, it had a root system that was bigger than the fucking plant structure above the surface of the substrate. Will say if Geek Boy's still in here, that man's got some badass crypts. I mean, these things are huge, huge. They're like 3 foot long crypts. Never seen crypts like that. How is my water? Well, it depends on the tank because I keep a variety of things. Um, trying to think. Right out of the tap, I mean, I'm running 7.5 pH, so I'm running a higher pH. But by the time it gets in the tank and gets cycled and everything, it drops down to like 7.2. pH is between 60, 70. pH is fuck me. Yeah, my gauge is about 60 to 70, and the cage is closer to 40, just about 40. Um, so I consider it some pretty decent water. I can do just about anything with it. That's nice. I gave many of them and got rid of most of the rest. I was well past the time of a reset that tank. Yeah. So man, those things. Wow, wow. You don't ever see crypts like that. I've got one big old massive crypt right there. I don't keep too many plants down in the bottom tank. There's a lot of cichlids and stuff down there, and they've eaten everything else except for my fucking crypts. I got one over here, and one right there, and then a big old one back there that's like 8 inches tall. It's like the biggest crypt I got. That's at 55 too. Yep. Hmm. Yeah, and I like it. And then just depending on like what tank it's in and what substrate I have in that tank, I mean, I can keep that pH right at 7.5, between 7.5 and 8. No problems. Like I said, just depends on the tank and what I have in it. Like this tank here, pH runs right about 6.4 maybe at the most. Um, but you go over here to where I've got the flower horns, that's sitting at like a 7.7, 7.8. I wish I could have pretty much RO water out of the tap. I wish. My friend called that a bad time, couldn't get off the phone. No worries. 11 TDS last I checked. I haven't checked my TDS in a while. Over the last 4 years I've lived here, that tap water's never changed a point coming out of that tap. So I haven't tested it in a while. Maybe I should. That was pretty low. Yeah, it is. It is hard to lower anything without using chemicals and stuff like that. And then going back to that, like me personally, I don't. If I have to use chemicals to fucking get that taken care of, it's not a balanced tank. I don't know what I got, but I'm not going to charge you for Crypticorn for what I got. I'll give you some. Gotta go around and see what I got. You got to get lefties situated. No, I got a few big ones. Like that big guy in at 55. And that's just Blue Ridge River Rock on top of fucking Eco Complete. So it's not even growing anything special. When my tap water has less TDS than RTI from the local store, I know I got good water. Damn straight. People around here, yeah, no chems from people around here drink more bottled water than they do tap water. The water around here is kind of fucked. It's super treated. Soft, pretty neutral. That's all I know or understand. Okay. See, Brooklyn. Oh, hey, look what I just found in my pocket. That's kind of neat. I just found that randomly in my pocket. I don't know why it's in my pocket, but it was in my pocket. Uh, See, Brooklyn. Then I would totally be the asshole to just get a hold of Steven and ship it to see or and send it to Steven and tell him to give it to you. I would totally be that asshole. Just so you know. Relaxing frustrations. How's it going? And welcome. Hope you're doing good today. Getting off here in a minute. You can use peat moss and run the water through like a filter to lower the pH. Yeah. Yeah, that's an old trick people have used for a long time. Comes for me. I learned the hard way when I started chasing. Yeah. Chasing parameters is horrid. To be honest, I knew that, but I was worried about getting the wrong moss. You cut your tap water with RO water and it will soften it. Yep, you can definitely do that too. That's what I do mostly. Like it when it rains a lot. The water from my spring is cleaner than usual. Heck yeah. I know a couple people down in Kentucky. They have a natural spring that runs down the side of a mountain, and that is the cleanest, purest water I've ever seen in my life. And they keep their fish in it. And my God, I've never seen more beautiful fish in my. They don't treat it. They don't nothing. They'll take it straight from that spring and put it directly in their tank. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's pretty cool. They're some of the most healthiest, prettiest fish I've ever seen. Bunch of cichlids. Looks like I'm going to be meeting one of my customers at the shop here, so I got a couple extra minutes to spend with you guys before I have to leave. So, about 10 minutes. That rare golden moss. Always got to do. Spring water is the reason why the saltwater hobby is actually somewhat decent in Kentucky. Yeah, yeah. They got some funky water down there. Funky water. Speaking of Kentucky, I need to go visit my childhood home here soon. I was born in Kentucky, and my family still owns the property down there. There's a cemetery down there, a little bit of land, and a house. I go down and visit and go camping. Try to go every year. I haven't gone the last couple of years, but it's a big enough piece of land I can go hunting on. I can have big old campfires, bonfires, and parties and whatever. I used to go down every year and clear out brush, make a giant brush pile out in the middle of the pasture, and have a massive bonfire every year. But that was when uh, the entire family wasn't so separated, if that makes sense. Kentucky is gorgeous. I was born in White House, Kentucky. It's a little itty bitty bitty town, about 45 minutes away from a hospital or anything. But back in between the early 1900s and the 1940s, it was a coal mining town. There was a theater, there was a doctor's office, there was a grocery store, there was a train station, car garages, there was dairy farms. Um, but between then and now, it all just died out. After the mines and stuff shut down, it all died out. Now there's a total of 6 people living in that what you would call a town, um, and half of them, I mean, the one Tom, he's my cousin. The other two, their families have been living in White House for at least 80 years altogether, 3 generations. So, it's pretty cool. Pretty really, really beautiful place. It's, like, down in between 2 mountains. There's a big old river when you get down to the bottom of the in between the 2 called the Sandy River. You used to go down there and catch big old catfish with fucking hunks of hot dog. Shit. No. I think you can pull up White House, Kentucky on a map or on Google Images. I don't know. I'd be kind of surprised if that fucking Google van drove all the way down there because it's nuts. I have to look. We can have Misfit Toberfest. Shit. Trying to get the Fish Toberfest to do some salt water in the event, but no one in the club is interested in it. Well, that stinks. I wish I could go. I'm half tempted to squabble everything for Aquashello Chicago and just go to that, but It's all the way in Portland. I'm going to have to fly there and pay somebody to come take care of all my stuff. Every time you type in White House, Kentucky, here, go to Google Earth here. Load up, you piece of shit. All right. Ah, there it is. Yep. All right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Share my screen here. How did I just do? Okay. Did not want to do that. I typed it in, it popped right up for me, brought me right to it. All right. What the hell? All right. This is the Sandy River that I was talking about, right? Um, right here's the White House Community Church. When you're coming in here, you're coming in from this way, down this way. You're coming up this road. Well, more or less from the way over here to the right, going all the way down around, and then you come up this hill here. White House Community Church. That White House Community Church, my great grandparents built. And then you go down this road, starting from that fork there, all the way down to this bend here, where it dead ends, is considered White House, Kentucky. All these houses right here. The house that is my family house is right here. Holy cow! This picture is like 15 years old. I swear. That blue tarp is on there because at that part there is a leak in the roof. Um, and that's actually my car sitting in the driveway too. That's kind of cool. Right here's the cemetery that I was talking about, little family cemetery. It's where my great grandparents are buried. My grandmother's buried. We also have train tracks that run right alongside this road that wrap all the way around back that way. Super detailed. Like I said, there's only very few houses that are left, and you can kind of see if you come down here in this patch of woods right here. I don't know, all that stuff right there. That's not actually just rock and stuff. That's old foundation. And in these trees right here is just all old foundation from all the old buildings and stuff that used to be here. This house right here was remodeled at one point. This was built in the 1800s, and it was a doctor's house. A doctor had lived there and his family for most of their life until it burnt down and they rebuilt it. This is my cousin's house right here. Um, this is another little offshoot of White House. We don't really know anybody, these people that live back here, but they've been there for generations. Um, Now, the route that I normally take coming in, just because it's a lot funner, you see this dirt road right here? It zips and winds all the way up and around through all these mountains. I'll come in way over here by Banjo Ranch and come in this way. It takes like an extra half an hour, but it is such a beautiful drive. Then you come down and you turn left at the church, and there's White House. But our family owns, starting from here, we own all the way up this mountain to this road, all the way down and around. We don't own the railroad tracks. All the way down to here, and then all the way back down and around, following that whole river, all the way back up to the house. Down here, right here, is probably 100 feet higher up than what this area is down here. It drops down, it gets lower down to the bank of the river. So this is a lot higher up than the river is. But real bad flooding, that river will flood all the way up to the top and into the backyards of these houses. How much that thing floods, it's insane. I mean, that thing floods over 80 feet when it gets real bad. Wonder if they still have it here. Should be a bridge somewhere along here. Yep, there it is. There's an old string bridge or drawline bridge. It's not say like hell. You can even see the missing planks in it from this fucking satellite picture. Like this thing is old. This thing was built back in the early 1930s. But as a kid, I used to jump off it into the river. It's really high up. It's pretty fun. We used to have an old retriever. He would jump off with me. It was pretty cool. Yeah, that was where I was born and lived for quite a while. Yeah, I know. I ignored Chet for a little bit. Give me a second. Pull it back up. All right. There we are. Fishtoberfest, do the same saltwater. There we are. Fuck Aquashella, come here for the parties. Yeah, I'd love to, Adkins. Or like different White Houses in Kentucky. Huh. Maybe going to Aquashella, Dallas. If going to the events this year, it would be that one. Unfortunately, I can't make any others. Huh, that's understandable, Brooklyn. I'm surprised I'm even able to make it to the Clash. I have a solar pump in the spring that starts behind my house. No fields around. It's the best water I've ever had. That's awesome. Me too. I'm super excited for the Clash. I really am. Yeah, have somebody smuggle you in. They are. And they're like those are on the side of a mountain. That's not flat. There's no guardrails, there's no nothing. It's just all old gravel road. It's great. And there's a bunch of walk paths and stuff that you can go from the house all the way up to that road and stuff. There's actually an old cemetery halfway up that mountain between the property that my family owns and that road up there at the top or halfway up that mountain. There's an old cemetery that's just overgrown and stuff. I have to get pictures of it next time I go down there. It's pretty cool. Stuff dating back to early 1800s and stuff. Quadcon in Tennessee, oozing the essence of Kentucky. And it's just because there's so much sediment in them, all the mud, muck. Because it's a river, it breaks it all down even more, picking it up into the water column, so on and so forth. Thank you. One day I'll move back down there. I think one day when I get old and decrepit. No problem. Yeah, it's a super small town. Super small town. I think max pop when that place was actually still going with the mining town was 500 people at the most. It was about the most people that was ever there. No, it was just about six, maybe a little more than that. I don't know. Look at Torch Lake, Michigan. It's not brown. Yeah, there's some places that aren't brown. The Ohio River, and then we call that the Big Sandy River, the one that we were just looking at next to my hometown, and it was just muddy ass water. All right, guys, I already went 20 minutes past. I said I was going to, so I'm gonna hop off here. Yeah, it is really brown, but you will catch some of the biggest goddamn catfish you'll ever see out of that fucking thing. For real. Huge catfish. Yeah. Um, it's Thursday too. Next stream is gonna be Sunday. And who knows? I'll probably do a pop-up between then. You know me. Keep an eye out for that. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me for a few hours. I had a pretty good stream talking about lights and all sorts of other good stuff. So, no problem, guys. I should thank you guys more than anything, honestly. Yep. Talk to you soon, Hippie John. All right, guys. I gotta get my shit done.